Okay. Hi guys, how you doing? Let me get comfortable. Give me a second here. Got it. Nobody loves me. Oh no, don't you start that. Hold on. Hold on. Hi YouTube. Hi TikTok. Good day, good day, good day. So I just wanted to have a little chat with you, little chat for a second. So I wanted to ask the question: should straight men and gay men be friends? And shout outs to God dang Zoe. I don't want to say, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so anyway, I was watching his like Streamer University review, and I was like looking at the whole Black Boy Max, and I was looking at the whole Black Boy Max situation, and I'm like, okay, I get, this concept. And, side note here, I just want to put this out there that most cultures that have the most toxic masculinity also have the most DL men. I'm going to repeat that. Most cultures that have the most toxic masculine, like, ideologies and ways of life also have the most down low men, have the most closeted men. So that's just something to think about there. You know what I'm saying? When you have all of these standards for how men should be and appear, and you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times in those cultures too, they have these ridiculous high standards for women, right? For like their counterparts that they don't even match or meet behind closed doors or when no one's looking. So yeah, but anyway, so back to the point. Should straight men befriend gay men? And I'm like, as a person that is looking for a gay best friend, I am an advocate for this, but I had to also understand like old ways of thinking of myself. And I put it in a perspective because I was hypnotized, by someone that was roommates with a gay guy. And I live in Atlanta, so this is, you know what I'm saying, regular stuff. Didn't care about that. That part, just looked right over that, didn't care. What got me though was he told me that they had a X party together with the S in front of it. And that's when I became perplexed as how a straight man could have a joint party, you know what I'm saying, freak party with a gay man and not be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I understand like the optics of this. You know what I'm saying? And then I thought about what is appropriate because see gay men can come to the straight clubs with their straight friends, right? But is it acceptable for a straight male, not women, because of course we know there's double standards, to go with his gay friend to the gay bar? Or are you automatically going to be deemed like at least curious? Because why are you there, right? In this world. And so I realized that toxic masculinity has also affected us to the point where it's like, these things, this is a good topic because I feel like we're all human beings. Like, I feel like everyone deserves love, everyone deserves to be treated properly, you know what I'm saying? And like it says, be careful how you treat people, for you never know who are your angels, you know what I'm saying? And I could think of three different times that I was like down and out, and like it was a man that was, homosexual that, spoke life into me, that just randomly felt like, just like an angelic vibe. And I just feel like, I just feel like that's God's way of like healing us and like showing us another side. Like how they say, like, someone could be a racist their whole life and then they get saved by someone in which they were racist by. You could be in a flood and you know what I'm saying, or be resuscitated by a black person and you detested black people your whole life. You could be, you know what I'm saying, looking for your child and then, you know what I'm saying, it could be somebody black that find your child or save you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like God does that. God will give you the opposite or the thing that you're ignorant about. You know what I'm saying? The situation. God will give you a child. You know what I'm saying? If you are homophobic, they will give you a child that is homosexual. You know what I'm saying? Like God challenges us in that way all the time or blesses us in that way. You know, and so I just want to say that I feel like they definitely should be friends because you can be friends with anyone. You never know who is there to help you. And I feel like it's ultimately on other heterosexuals, even women, to not deem that person, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they're gay. They're hanging out with this person. They're automatically, you know what I'm saying? Because if they are, then yes, it's gonna probably not help them to come out. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not, it's like, well, why are we making it as though for them to have a gay best friend or for them to have a gay friend is like, ew, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you saying about the gay person? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that is treating someone less human or less than, you know what I'm saying? Based on association or based on, you know, it's like secondhand smoke. And I just feel like that it is ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And I ultimately now get it. Like, you know, if you're not trying to be with that person or you don't care, why do you care about their sexuality? It's like if they're not trying to press, you know what I'm saying? If you're not asking me out on a date, if you're not, then I don't really care what you got going on. Like that wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not my business and it doesn't matter. And I feel like this is like a good topic because so many people, I feel like we miss connections. You miss things because you're worried about what the world is going to say. You're worried about what the world, you know, the same way with the whole Shannon Sharp situation and the gay stylist or whatever. And then he fired the man and then he was looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Some people are there to help us, to enhance us, to make us better, you know, and ultimately, we just got to stop giving a dang. If they're a good person, then yeah. If they're a good friend, if they listen, you know. Now, on the flip side of that, I feel like, too, as long as there's a respect of boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because a gay man can befriend a straight man thinking, oh, I'm going to, you know, the same way a man will befriend a woman acting like they just want to be your friend, but really they want to lay with you. You know what I'm saying? So as long as there is a boundary, you know what I'm saying? As long as there is a respect of the person's sexuality and it's not like a push, I think so. Now, do some men, straight men, also do that because they're curious? Maybe so. There's not a one size fits all scenario. But I feel like the world would be better and it would be less toxic, you know, from feminine energy and masculine energy if we just allow people to be and be friends with people that vibe you match with, that energy that you match with versus, you know what I'm saying, versus it being an outer appearance or, you know what I'm saying, background wise or how much money they got and all these things, you know. So yeah, just vibe, just vibe at your highest vibration. I've been telling myself lately I'm going to be as happy as I can for as long as I can and ignore the BS, you know what I'm saying, just vibe. But yeah, shout outs to Goddamn Zoe. Shout outs to Casanat. Oh, and the 3 angelic vibes that I've had. One time I was waiting on the guy that had the gay roommate and everything, whatever. And it was just like, you know what I'm saying, just a long, drawn out booty call. You know what I'm saying? For real. And I remember complaining like to this random man that was just sitting there or whatever. And he was like, you know, the worst questions you could ask start with a W. Like who, what, why? You know what I'm saying? How did this happen? He was like, instead of just being like, some stuff just is. And some people you just can't keep asking the same question to. Like eventually you just gotta come up with your own conclusion and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like now, looking back on it, I'm like, that was an angelic blessing because he just spoke life into me. And then he was telling me about himself. And okay. And God is good. You know what I'm saying? The second time or whatever, I felt like I was just like in a down state. And I was like at this card party or whatever. Like, people just be gambling, just at a table talking mess. And this gay man who did like drag at night or whatever was just like, and you need to start speaking into yourself and you need to stop, you know what I'm saying, feeling down or this and that. And I just really feel like God is amazing. Like God has sent me 3 gay angels in my life. And the third, I feel like is RuPaul. Shout out to RuPaul. Love you. But not least, right? Because even on TikTok or whatever on here, look, I'm on YouTube too. But even on TikTok and stuff, it's just like it's always been an angelic vibe of just like he makes me want to be myself. You know what I'm saying? Be like, because I feel like the ultra sometimes is what people tell you, like you're living outside of your reality. When that could very much so be your reality, like your real life, your real soul, your real spirit. But we're all trying to dim it down. Just take it down a notch. When I got my braids done, this lady was like, "That's pretty, but you could have toned it down a color." I'm like, "Well, you can you know what I'm saying, tone it down when they do your hair. But this is my hair, and I'm gonna do what I want to do now." And I feel better that way, and I feel more beautiful this way. I feel more confident this way, even with no makeup on. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm more in my element. So, at the end of the day, whether they be gay or straight, just find good friends. Find honest friends, loyal friends. You know what I'm saying? Find people that's not going to backstab you, steal from you, lie on you. You know what I'm saying? Set you up, betray you, talk behind your back. As long as they are a good person, a good friend, and you know what I'm saying? Who cares if they're gay or they're straight? As long as you know who you are. And maybe sometimes God is trying to test that toxic femininity of a woman, you know what I'm saying, constantly trying to question your masculinity, question who you are as a man just because of your associations or you choosing to see people for who they really are. You know what I'm saying? And not just outer surface. Again, we all have to do what's comfortable for us. So I would suggest if you know you're not looking for other men to be with your gay friend at the gay bar. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But do you? Do you? Again, there's always going to be a double standard for women and men. That's true. But I personally, and it's just me speaking for me, I probably would only go with my lesbian friend, you know what I'm saying, one time, a birthday or something. I'm not finna just be at the lesbian bar knowing that's not what I want like that. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own. Peace. Let me get off TikTok first.